I like this installation. I made it a long time ago. Also lampshade as well. And it looks a little bit like spider web, but everything is knitted. So this is actual performance starting, Uranus starting, like being a worm or cocoon. The music is half improvised, half fixed, composed, and I use a computer to play the background, which I have recorded. I do like this duo because the only person I can communicate is just only one person, not like in orchestra or thousands of people that I have to connect to, and that's possible too, but it's very thick, kind of like a pipe that I feel the connection to the other performer. And you can see the guitar is wrapped. This is also I made. It's a real electric guitar, but it's yeah, it's wrapped by paper. I was actually going to take it off the paper, but at the end I quite like as it is, and I don't know this would change the sound or not. I also quite like the fabrics, the see-through fabric, chiffon and muslin, and all hanged and intertwined with yarns. It will create a little space like maze and little world to explore with. The room itself is not that big, but it makes each room's interesting and characteristic. I like this sunlight a lot. We're glad that this day was very shiny, sunny, and without the effect. Yeah, imagine that this is artificial light. It's going to be so boring. You don't feel that. You don't really actually see the show in the daytime, right? That's also. It's a little bit like a Shakespeare's Grove, only went once, but that's in daylight. I just thought this about the playing. It is like a kids playing in the room. Imagine that there's close friends of yours reading a picture book, and then you're actually playing with a toy, or where you really feel that the other person's existence, even you are in your own world. I guess that kind of connection that we remember when you're a toddler, maybe we had that more, but as we are not human being yet so much, so we don't maybe remember, or we don't actually be in a conscious world. But if you are like a little kid, like 3 to 6 years old, you kind of remember that we have a strong connection between, but everything is quite abstract and not really be able to capture. I guess that's a fear for human. That's maybe the big difference between animal and human. Human wanted to be fixed and not to be floating. Otherwise you will lose. Probably adult people creating that too much as well, that we need to be fixed and got to be, everything should be sensible with 5 senses. And I remember that when I was a kid that I really scared of being abstract and to be lost. And because everything's like quite dreamy, and I don't really feel that I exist, even if I'm existing. Almost like running into the air and then the feet are not on the ground and don't know what to do. But I think as a human that we use the language and be a little bit more physical, fixing places, putting the boxes, ideas, and then be able to understand ourselves from outside. But we got to be balanced to be in unconsciousness world and also consciousness world too. People have got their own beauty and And often they don't realize, or we don't realize ourselves, that we are doing it. We are actually showing the most beautiful part of movement or angles, everything. Perhaps we could maybe only show that when we are unconscious. Yeah, being vulnerable. I think doing art is completely vulnerable. Otherwise, you cannot capture the moment. You cannot receive in the sources. I fascinated of these see-through fabric, chiffon or gauze, have got interesting quality. I do not like so much of very smooth, shiny. Even paper, when I draw things, I don't like to draw something very smooth. I guess it's, yeah, maybe that's my taste as well. I find it's more organic and the more character. Maybe because of either I was lucky enough feeling the texture when I was a kid, or I just like touching it, something soft and fluffy. So the concept is about membrane. Membrane is the skin of the cell, and that skin has a function of receiving and then not receiving. So if the things that you want or you need, you could pass through the skins. So the skin has got so many sensors to recognize it's bad or good or bad. So for example, like virus they've got key to get inside, right? So cells will maybe admit that it's okay to let them in. And we also have the membrane between people to people. We always have that kind of wall, accept or not accept. So I'm actually expressing that to make visible these lines and things, the connections outside and inside, and also the fabric is the representation of membrane. Really think about the vulnerability. It'd be interesting that everything is really all connected in a sophisticated way.